This is DTM, back again with Art is King. Find us online, artistking.org. Find us in social medias at artisking_ATL. And you can always find me at Delta Tango Mike. Now let's go ahead with episode 2.
Yo, this Bone Crusher, and you're watching the Art is King podcast. Cast.
All right, let's talk about entrepreneurship and the second step that you should take once you've already figured out the kind of art that you like to use, the kind of art materials you like to use, and the kind of art that you like to create, and how often you like to create art. So if you're a hobbyist and you like to draw every now and then or paint every now and then you're cool, you're good. We're talking to the people who want to start looking into ways they can enter the market and figure out how the art business works for them and their art. So the next question you want to ask yourself is, where is your market? Who is going to buy your art, and what do you need to do to get it there? All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at some of these things that we're going to mention right now. Number one is, you've got to realize that when you're looking at the market as a whole, as an art market, there's all types of artists, right? So this is supposed to be a head, and that's a body. There go some legs. There you go. Yeah, maybe you're a concept artist. Maybe you like drawing sequential pictures that tell a story. Well, then now we're talking about comics, right? Bam, 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 bam. Maybe if you like seeing these sequential pictures move, now we're talking about film. And maybe animation. So there's all types of different kinds of art markets where the talent is necessary, and it builds on a talent that goes and that you can make money with. So we got comics. So we have things like comics, animation, concept art, commercial illustrations, and so on. And so you need to start exploring those and figuring out, where does your art fit? Where in all of those different places do you see art like the one that you're creating? So let's say you're a fine artist and you like to paint a lot of watercolors. Okay, so now let's start looking like, where in the marketplace are there watercolors? There's watercolors in editorial advertising. Yes, that's true. But a lot of times you'll find watercolors in fine art, which means galleries, which means curators and art agents and collectors. So now start looking for those galleries that support watercolor artists. Start looking for those galleries that support the kind of art themes that you speak about and the things that you like to create. So that is where the market is. That's where you need to go, and then find your way to get into that market. By understanding where the art world is and where art fits, then you start finding where you fit. And that's how some of my process was, where I like to do illustrations. I like to do a lot of drawings. And so I found a lot of illustrators online. I looked for where their portfolio is, their website, and who their clients are. And once I realized who their clients are, then and saw how they define themselves, I was then able to use that information to figure out, well, does that fit the definition of who I am and what I like to do? So we have our market, we find what we like to do, and now we need to find the people in it. And so now let's talk about a little bit about our do's. All right, let's talk about our do's. So do find mentors. You need to find the people and artists who are working in that field and can give you advice and guidance as to how to follow your path and get to your market. A mentor does not have to be somebody who you establish and say, hey, can you be my mentor? They can just be an artist, a person who's ahead of you in that art career, and you can ask them questions. You can bring some of your issues to them, and they may help you through them to figure out what it is that you need to do next. Another thing you want to do is build your portfolio. So if you're into the practice of drawing every day, painting every day, or ever so often, start thinking about how to bring all of those ideas together and tell a story or connect that artwork so that it becomes a collection. You need to build that portfolio to then, when you're talking to people in the marketplace, they can see your talent, they can see the level of your skill, and see if you're ready for the market. One thing that happens a lot is that I like to draw different things every day, and none of it connects with each other, not at all. But when I'm looking for a particular client and I'm talking about a particular business, I have to only present the pieces that fit together, that speak to that client, that speak to that audience. And that's when I have to pay attention to what I'm drawing every day and see, can I draw something today that builds on something that I already done? So that's, some days I'm just strictly working on my portfolio. I need to bring together all these different things that are drawn and see how they fit and tell a story that then can connect with my market. So then the next thing you want to do is think about how the market fits, how your art fits in the market, and how does it connect with people. Is it giving them something positive to think about? Is it challenging their belief system? Is it projecting an image that you want to stand behind? And that's when you have to figure out that even though you may like to draw skulls like myself, we don't need any more skull drawings. So I may draw the skulls for myself on my own time, but I focus on the portfolio pieces that the market wants to see to then talk to the people in the market, to talk to my clients, to talk to organizations that need that kind of artwork that I create. So I put together this exhibit one time, and it's an art installation that is part of a nationwide tour. And their focus is live music, good times, and enjoying the company of others in a cool setting. So I don't want to bring in some of my skulls that I like to draw then. I wanted to bring in some kind of vibrant art that's full of color, that lights up. And so I had to think it through and present the kind of artwork that was going to fit that market, that was going to fit that mood, and that I can still love to create. So some of the things that you create can all have different purposes, and as long as you focus on one at a time and realizing where that's going to go, then you'll be able to talk to that market, and that market will respond to you. What are some of the things you should not do? All right, here it goes. Do not spend a lot of money on art materials when you do not have clients. It's nice to have shiny things. I am guilty of that myself. I like the best pencils. I like the best markers. I have tons of canvases and sketchbooks. And a lot of times I get caught up in buying what's new right now. And the problem with that is that if the business is not paying you, you're not in the market and you're not making money, then you're kind of just spending money on things that are not helping your career right now. So what I like to tell young artists is buy a pack of number 2 pencils, buy a pack of paper and work on that. As you improve on your career, as you improve on your art, as you improve on your talent and start finding customers, now you can spend the money on those art materials and tools that you need. I have several computers, I have a few Surfaces and iPads, and it's a couple Cintiqs. For a long time I wanted that. I wanted what other artists have and what professional artists use in their profession, and I wanted to consider myself a professional, so I wanted to have the professional things. But that is not a requirement to produce good work. What you need to do is just focus on your talent and build on it so that by the time you hit the market and you have some money coming in, then you can start investing on the tools that are going to give you an advantage and improve on your art. All right, so that's some of the things that you should not do. Focus, but you should focus and improve and work on your talent. All right, that's all I have for you right now. My name is DTM. Find me anywhere on the internet, Delta Tango Mike. Make sure you follow artistking.org. You can find them anywhere on the social medias under artistking_ATL. So focus on living a thriving art life. Get out of that starving artist mentality, and make sure you earn with your art talents, because if you don't, somebody else will. DTM, peace out.